You're chasing success, but constantly feel like something's missing. It's not the strategy. It's not the timing. It's you not knowing yourself deeply enough to break through. Most people stay stuck their entire lives, not because they're lazy, but because they've never asked themselves the right questions. Talk to yourself, ask yourself out loud for just 3 days. Ask what you really want. Ask why you keep holding yourself back. Ask what you're afraid of. The truth is, until you become self-aware, nothing will change. You'll stay in the same place, chasing the same goals with the same confusion and frustration. In the next few moments, you'll learn a truth that reshapes the way you speak to yourself, not with doubt or hesitation, but with certainty and vision. The power of positive inner dialogue. From the moment your eyes open each morning, you are not alone. There is a companion beside you, ever present and all-powerful. It is your inner voice. This voice, though often overlooked, is the master architect of your destiny. And for the next 3 days, I challenge you to consciously shape it. Speak to yourself with kindness, courage, and unshakable belief. If you do this, you will begin to understand one of the greatest secrets of success. You see, the mind is both a fertile garden and a dangerous battlefield. The thoughts you plant take root. They bloom into habits, and those habits shape the life you live. If your inner voice sows seeds of doubt, fear, and inferiority, your life will mirror those sentiments. But if that voice breathes confidence, encouragement, and purpose into your soul, your world will rise to meet it. Imagine, if you will, your inner voice as a wise and trusted mentor, a figure who sees within you not only who you are, but who you can become. This mentor does not mock your struggles or criticize your missteps. No, it lifts you. It says you have endured storms before. You can endure this too. It reminds you, you were born with power, with vision, with purpose. Now go and act like it. In my own studies of the most successful men and women in history, I have found one common trait. They mastered their inner voice. They understood that the dialogue within was far more important than the noise without. Before any great deed is done, it is first believed. Before any summit is climbed, the climber must first say, I can. This belief is not arrogance. It is the quiet, consistent trust in one's own capacity. Every morning, stand before your reflection and affirm, I am capable. I am worthy. I am unstoppable. Do not whisper it. Declare it. Let it ring with the authority of truth, because it is true. When doubt creeps in, as it inevitably will, do not allow it to settle. Confront it with resolve. Say, I hear you, but I do not bow to you. I am led by strength, not fear. There is an invisible law at work in the world, the law of belief. Whatever you consistently say to yourself, you begin to accept. Whatever you accept, you begin to become. Thus, your words to yourself are not mere phrases. They are blueprints for your future. For 3 days, treat your inner voice as sacred. Make it your strongest ally. When you fall short, let it speak of lessons, not of failure. When you succeed, let it whisper, this is only the beginning. Speak life into your goals. Speak courage into your heart. Speak vision into your days. You will find that the world responds not to who you are, but to who you believe yourself to be. And when that belief is forged in truth and strengthened by repetition, there is no door that will remain closed to you. Your inner voice is the first seed of every success, every breakthrough, and every transformation. Choose it wisely, nurture it daily, and watch as your life begins to mirror the greatness that has always lived within you. Clarify your vision. Your dreams are not fleeting illusions. They are not idle wanderings of the mind or vain ambitions whispered into the wind. No, they are the compass of your soul, pointing you toward your purpose. Within them lies the blueprint of what you are meant to do, who you are meant to become, and the legacy you are destined to leave. Over the next 3 days, set aside the distractions of daily life and turn inward. This is a sacred task to clarify with absolute precision the vision for your life. Begin by asking yourself 3 simple yet profound questions. Where do I want to go? What do I wish to accomplish? And what impact do I intend to leave behind? Let these questions guide you, not once, but repeatedly. Write down your answers, refine them, revisit them. Your vision must be clear, for clarity is power. Vague goals produce vague results. But when your goals are defined with conviction and detail, the entire universe seems to conspire to bring them into reality. Take a notebook, a blank page, or the back of a napkin if you must, and write with passion. Let your pen flow not from fear or limitation, but from possibility and courage. Imagine your future not as it is, but as it could be. Describe it vividly. See it clearly. Feel it deeply. Because a goal written with passion becomes more than a wish. It becomes a contract with your future self. Great achievements are born not of chance, but of choice. Henry Ford did not build an empire on hope alone. He held a clear picture in his mind of what he wanted to achieve. He saw the moving assembly line before it existed. He envisioned ordinary men producing extraordinary machines, and through focused thought and unwavering purpose, he brought that vision to life. This is no secret reserved for the few. It is a universal principle that which you consistently think about, you begin to it. The mind, once set on a definite goal, becomes a magnet for the people, the resources, and the opportunities needed to achieve it. But you must first give the mind direction. You must feed it clarity. Each morning, take a few minutes to visualize your goals as already accomplished. Picture the outcome. Hear the voices congratulating you. Feel the satisfaction of victory. Anchor these images deeply into your subconscious, for it is the subconscious mind that drives action, even when the conscious mind is uncertain. The more vividly and frequently you impress your vision upon it, the more effortlessly you will act in alignment with it. When doubt arises, and it will return to your written goals, read them aloud. Remind yourself not only of what you want, but of why you want it. Purpose is the fire that turns vision into action. Without it, the journey falters. With it, no mountain is too high. Take these 3 days seriously. Treat them as the first pages of a new chapter. The clearer your vision, the stronger your pull toward it. You are not merely surviving, you are designing. You are not drifting, you are building. The world yields to those who know what they want. Clarity gives birth to confidence, and confidence breeds momentum. This is how greatness begins, with a mind fixed on a worthy goal and a spirit unwilling to waver. Do not delay. Begin today. Define your dream. Describe your vision. Anchor your purpose. And watch as your life begins to bend in the direction of your desire. Cultivate resilience. Life is a rhythmic dance of victories and setbacks, progress and pause, triumphs and trials. It moves like the tide, sometimes lifting you high with success, and at other times testing your strength in the undertow of adversity. To thrive in this ebb and flow, you must build something more enduring than luck or talent. You must cultivate resilience. Resilience is not simply the ability to endure hardship. It is the trained capacity to rise after every fall, to extract wisdom from difficulty, and to continue forward with undiminished purpose. In the next 3 days, make it your mission to transform your mindset. View every challenge not as a blockage, but as a bridge, not as a punishment, but as a preparation. When the world tells you no, let it become fuel for your determination. When plans unravel, see it as the universe urging you to innovate, to adapt, to grow. Every setback carries within it a hidden gift, a lesson you could never learn in ease or comfort. The most resilient souls are those who learn to unwrap adversity with curiosity and courage. Consider the story of Thomas Edison. History remembers him for the light bulb, but the path to that invention was paved with failure. Thousands of failed experiments, each one an opportunity to quit, to feel defeated, to surrender. But Mr. Edison saw it differently. When asked about his so-called failures, he replied, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." That is resilience in its purest form, unwavering faith in the vision, no matter the obstacles along the way. Your life will not be free from hardship. No worthwhile life ever is. But you can train yourself to meet hardship with strength, to welcome it not with dread, but with a sense of challenge. When adversity strikes, ask yourself, what is this here to teach me? How can I grow because of this, not in spite of it? For the next 3 days, practice this perspective daily. When something goes wrong, pause, breathe, then reframe it. Say to yourself, this is part of my training. This is how I become unshakable. Speak to your inner self, not with defeat, but with resolve. Use each difficulty to build your emotional muscle, your mental stamina, your spiritual backbone. Resilience is not inherited, it is developed. It is built through conscious practice. Every time you choose to stand up instead of staying down, you reinforce it. Every time you refuse to be broken by disappointment, you strengthen it. Resilience is your shield against discouragement. Nurture it diligently. Visualize yourself as a mighty oak tree. Storms may bend your branches, but they cannot break your roots. Why? Because those roots go deep into purpose, into vision, into belief. When you are grounded in your mission, you become immovable, no matter how fierce the winds. And remember this, adversity does not diminish your value. On the contrary, it reveals it. Diamonds are formed under pressure, steel is tempered by fire, and greatness is forged through trials. Your ability to remain resilient is what separates the merely interested from the truly committed. Do not seek a life without struggle. Seek instead the strength to overcome it. Let each obstacle refine your character, not define your limits. The road to success is never a straight line. But with resilience as your companion, every detour becomes part of the journey, every delay a redirection, and every failure a foundation. Begin today. Choose resilience. Live it, breathe it, embody it, and watch how the world begins to shift in response to your unyielding spirit. Cultivate unwavering self-belief. Belief in yourself is not a luxury. It is a necessity. It is the foundation upon which all achievement rests. Without it, no dream can be fully born, no mountain fully climbed. Belief is the spark that ignites ambition, the root from which all greatness grows. Over the next 3 days, commit to nurturing this belief within you, not as a fleeting emotion, but as a deep, immovable conviction. Picture yourself as a tree, rooted deeply in rich soil. Storms may rage around you, winds may howl, but your core remains unmoved. Your confidence, like those roots, anchors you. It keeps you standing tall even when the skies turn dark. This is the kind of belief you must cultivate, not loud or boastful, but steady, quiet, and enduring. Every individual who has ever accomplished anything of lasting significance has done so not in the absence of doubt, but in the face of it. The difference between the average and the extraordinary lies in the decision to proceed, even when uncertainty whispered. The Wright brothers faced ridicule and repeated failure, yet they believed in flight when others only saw gravity. Eleanor Roosevelt carried herself with quiet strength, despite harsh criticism and relentless scrutiny. These individuals did not wait for permission to believe, they declared it. So must you. Each morning begin with affirmation, I am more powerful and capable than I realize, and my potential is limitless. Do not say it timidly. Speak it as truth because it is truth. You possess talents you have not yet discovered, strengths you have not yet tested, and capacities that far exceed your current vision. The mind, once filled with doubt, will default to limitation unless retrained. This is your task now to rewire your thinking, to evict the language of I can't, and replace it with I will. Stand guard at the gate of your thoughts. Do not let old fears, past failures, or the opinions of others rob you of your inner authority. Belief is not merely positive thinking. It is aligned thinking. It is aligning your inner dialogue with your highest potential. It means speaking to yourself with the same confidence you would offer to someone you deeply love. It means reminding yourself that you were not placed on this earth to shrink, but to shine. During these next 3 days, build rituals around your belief. Write down your affirmations. Speak them aloud. Visualize moments of victory, not just vague success, but clear, specific achievements. See yourself delivering that speech, leading that project, achieving that dream. Feel it in your bones. Anchor it in your heart. When challenges arise, and they will, let them be reminders of your strength, not tests of your worth. You are not defined by difficulty, you are refined by it. Every obstacle is a chance to reaffirm your belief, to say, even this cannot stop me. Carry yourself differently. Walk with purpose. Look others in the eyes. Speak with the calm conviction of someone who knows where they are headed. This is how belief takes form, through consistent action, through the embodiment of confidence. Belief is contagious. When you believe in yourself, others are drawn to your energy. Opportunities find you, allies support you. Momentum builds around you. The world does not reward doubt. It responds to certainty. When you move forward with unwavering belief, doors open, paths appear, and the impossible begins to look inevitable. Begin today. Feed your belief. Protect it, grow it, and know this: you are capable of far more than you have allowed yourself to imagine. Your future is not a question mark. It is a declaration waiting to be made. Declare it now, and let belief be the force that carries you forward. Pursue your passion relentlessly. Passion is the silent current that carries ordinary individuals into extraordinary lives. It is the inner flame that cannot be extinguished by circumstance, fatigue, or doubt. When it burns brightly, it becomes the source of energy, creativity, and resilience. Over the next 3 days, turn your attention inward. Dedicate this sacred window of time to discovering or rekindling the passions that make you feel most alive. Ask yourself, what stirs your soul? What activity makes time disappear? What pursuit brings a spark to your eyes and purpose to your steps? These are not idle questions. They are signposts pointing you toward your true calling. The person who moves with passion moves with power, and not the kind that is forced or artificial, but the kind that is magnetic, the kind that draws people and possibilities toward them. Passion is the great differentiator. It is what pushes one to go the extra mile, to work not just harder but more joyfully. It is the difference between mere existence and inspired living. Michelangelo did not spend endless days and nights painting the ceiling of the Sistine Chapel out of obligation. He was driven by a force far deeper, a love for art, a vision so consuming that rest became secondary to creation. That is the power of passion. It compels, it uplifts, and it sustains. Do not underestimate what happens when you engage fully in something you love. The world around you begins to change. Your energy shifts. Your voice carries more conviction. Your actions are charged with purpose. People notice. Opportunities respond. This is not magic. It is the natural law of enthusiasm. Passion brings excellence, and excellence attracts success. If you do not yet know what your passion is, do not despair. Discovery is part of the process. Try new things. Reflect on past joys. Revisit childhood curiosities. Passion often leaves clues in your moments of deep focus, your feelings of excitement, your spontaneous bursts of creativity. Follow these trails. They are leading you back to your core. For the next 3 days, schedule time to engage in activities that lift your spirit. It could be writing, designing, mentoring, teaching, building, solving problems, exploring nature. Whatever ignites your inner fire. Do it not for outcome, but for the sheer joy of doing. Passion, when expressed, expands. It cannot remain dormant when given air and space. Speak about your passions. Share them. Enthusiasm is contagious. When you speak from a place of love and excitement, you become a beacon for others. Your energy draws in collaborators, mentors, and supporters. What once seemed difficult now flows with surprising ease. Let passion guide your decision-making. When faced with choices, ask, which path makes me feel more alive? Success without joy is hollow, but when success is built upon passion, it becomes sustainable, meaningful, and fulfilling. Remember, passion is not a fleeting thrill. It is a steady flame. It does not always roar, but it always warms. Tend to it like a sacred fire. Protect it from the winds of doubt and the waters of routine. Feed it daily with attention, intention, and action. You were not born to go through life mechanically, merely checking boxes or fulfilling expectations. You were born to create, to contribute, to feel deeply, and to pursue what sets your soul on fire. This is not indulgence. It is responsibility. The world needs more people who are alive with purpose. Begin today. Explore what excites you, commit to it, express it, and trust that in doing so, you align yourself with the extraordinary life that passion always promises. Take decisive action. Dreams, no matter how grand or inspired, remain idle wishes until they are acted upon. Vision without action is like a ship without a sail, adrift and directionless. If you desire to achieve anything meaningful, you must convert intention into execution. Over the next 3 days, challenge yourself to take immediate, decisive steps toward your goals. Not tomorrow, not next week, now. Action is the bridge between what is imagined and what is real. It transforms potential into progress. And here lies a powerful truth. Even imperfect action is infinitely more valuable than perfect inaction. Waiting for the ideal moment, the flawless plan, or total certainty only delays your destiny. Start where you are, use what you have, do what you can. History remembers those who acted. Walt Disney began not with grand studios or legions of animators, but with simple sketches and a stubborn belief in a mouse. His first efforts were modest, his circumstances humble, but he moved, he created, he dared to act, while others merely dreamed. That first small step became a giant leap into an empire of imagination. Let this be your model. Begin small, but begin. One step forward creates momentum, and momentum is the magic ingredient that transforms possibility into reality. Each action builds on the last, creating a compounding effect that multiplies over time. You need not take giant leaps. You need only commit to consistent motion. For the next 3 days, set a clear intention. Each day, take one step toward your aspiration. Make the call. Write the page. Research the idea. Build the outline. Send the email. Start the process. Action, no matter how small, signals to your subconscious that you are serious. It tells the world you are in motion. Do not wait to feel ready. Confidence is often the result of action, not the prerequisite for it. You will grow more assured the more you move. The path reveals itself in the walking, not in the waiting. And remember, mistakes are not the enemy. They are your instructors. Every misstep carries a lesson, and every lesson strengthens your strategy. Commit to being a doer, not merely a thinker. Ideas are abundant. Execution is rare. The individuals who rise are those who take bold, consistent action. They are not necessarily the most talented or the most connected, but they are the most committed to movement. Each evening, reflect on your progress. Ask yourself, what action did I take today that moved me closer to my goal? Let this become a ritual, a habit of accountability. When you track your action, you reinforce it. When you reinforce it, you repeat it. And repetition builds results. Action creates clarity. The more you do, the more you learn. The more you learn, the sharper your aim. You may pivot, you may refine, but you will be moving forward, and that forward motion is everything. Motion is what separates the wishful from the purposeful. Understand this. Every great success story began with a decision to act. Behind every breakthrough, every innovation, every towering achievement was someone who chose to begin. They didn't wait for approval. They didn't beg for permission. They simply started. Now it is your turn. Over these 3 days, make action your mantra. Do not overthink. Do not overplan. Move. One deliberate step at a time. And as your momentum builds, so too will your confidence, your clarity, and your results begin today. Take the first step. Let that step lead to another. And before long, you will look back and realize that the life you once imagined is now the life you are living. Cultivate a habit of lifelong learning. Learning is your most powerful ally on the journey to greatness. It is the invisible force that strengthens your mind, sharpens your judgment, and enlarges your vision. For the next 3 days, I urge you to make a conscious and deliberate commitment. Immerse yourself in the pursuit of knowledge. Read deeply. Listen intently. Observe closely. Learn not only from books, but from people, from experiences, and from life itself. True success is never born from stagnation. It flourishes only where growth is nurtured, and growth demands learning. The individuals who rise above mediocrity are not those who claim to know everything, but those who remain humble enough to admit they never stopped learning. They understand that education does not end with the classroom. It begins with the will to improve. Think of Abraham Lincoln, a man of modest beginnings, limited schooling, and scarce resources. Yet he possessed an insatiable hunger for knowledge. He taught himself by the dim glow of firelight, poring over borrowed books and legal texts. He did not wait for permission or a perfect environment. He learned because he believed that growth was his responsibility. That belief shaped his destiny and transformed a backwoods boy into one of the greatest leaders in history. The same principle applies to you. No matter your current circumstances, you hold the power to expand your mind and enrich your life. The more you learn, the more valuable you become to your family, your community, your work, and most importantly, to your knowledge increases your ability to make wise decisions, solve complex problems, and inspire those around you. Over these 3 days, treat learning as sacred. Choose one subject that interests you and dive into it with focus. Read a chapter each day from a meaningful book. Listen to a lecture or podcast from someone whose wisdom you admire. Reflect on lessons you've gathered from your own life, the victories and the failures. Both are rich sources of instruction, if only you take the time to listen. The mind, like a muscle, grows through youth. If neglected, it withers. But when fed with new ideas, new skills, and new perspectives, it expands and empowers every aspect of your being. This is why the most successful individuals never grow complacent. They remain students regardless of their titles or accomplishment. They know that mastery is not a destination but a lifelong pursuit. Be careful not to confuse activity with learning. True learning is not passive consumption. It is active engagement. It involves questioning, reflecting, and applying. It means taking what you know and turning it into what you do. The real value of knowledge lies not in its acquisition, but in its application. Every time you open a book, every time you ask a question, every time you seek understanding, you are placing another brick in the foundation of your future. Learning is not something you do only to get ahead. It is something you do to become more fully alive. It fuels creativity. It strengthens confidence. It prepares you to face challenges with clarity and courage. And remember this, the world is evolving constantly. To remain relevant, you must evolve with it. The moment you stop learning is the moment you stop growing. But when you embrace learning as a lifelong companion, you step into a life of continuous advancement. So begin today. Open your mind. Feed it daily. Cultivate the habit of seeking wisdom. And know this, as you grow in knowledge, you rise in value. You gain not just information, but insight. Not just skill, but strength. And with that strength, you move steadily forward on the path to your highest self. Adapt and grow with change. The ability to adapt to change is not merely a helpful trait, it is the foundation of lasting success. Those who rise above circumstances, who overcome uncertainty, and achieve greatness are those who have learned not to resist change, but to embrace it. Over the next 3 days, make a conscious decision to welcome change as your ally, not your adversary. For within every shift, every disruption, every new challenge lies an opportunity waiting to be seized. You must come to understand that change is not a threat. It is a signal that it is time to grow, to evolve, to reach for new heights. The man or woman who fears change has already placed limits upon themselves, but the one who greets it with curiosity and courage becomes unstoppable. Change is not the end of stability, it is the beginning of transformation. Think of a skilled sailor. He does not curse the wind when it shifts. He adjusts his sails. He does not control the sea, but he controls his response, and that makes all the difference. Your life will not be free from shifting wind, but if you are willing to adjust your mindset, your strategies, and your perspective, no storm will ever keep you from your destination. Nature offers us the clearest example. Every tree, every animal, every ecosystem is constantly adapting. Seasons change, environments shift, and yet life finds a way not only to survive, but to thrive. Adaptation is nature's law of longevity. Those who resist change become obsolete. Those who embrace it become pioneers. You are no different. When change comes, and it always will, you have a choice. Retreat into fear or step forward into growth. The most successful individuals I have studied were not merely intelligent or ordered. They were adaptable. They could shift gears when needed. They could reinvent themselves. They did not mourn what was lost, but focused on what could be built anew. Over these next 3 days, practice mental flexibility. When something unexpected happens, pause and ask, what opportunity is hidden in this? What can I learn here? How can this make me stronger? These questions are the beginning of a mindset that turns obstacles into openings. Be willing to question old patterns, outdated beliefs, and familiar routines. Sometimes what brought you success in the past is not what will take you to the next level. Adaptability is about more than adjusting to survive. It is about positioning yourself to thrive in new terrain. You must also remain open-minded. Rigidity of thought is the enemy of growth. If you believe you already know everything, you leave no room for better answers. The adaptable mind listens. It observes. It learns. It understands that change often comes with discomfort, but within that discomfort is the seed of reinvention. Let go of the need for total control. Control is an illusion. Progress comes not from controlling every variable, but from responding powerfully to whatever arises. Your power lies not in resisting the winds, but in mastering the sail. Start today. Identify one area of your life where change is needed or already happening. Instead of resisting it, lean into it. Make a small adjustment. Try a new approach. View it not as a loss, but as a doorway. Let your willingness to change become your competitive advantage. When you make adaptability a habit, you become resilient. When you embrace change as part of your path, you unlock levels of creativity, strength, and success that most never reach. You evolve, and in that evolution, you become truly unstoppable. Change is not your enemy. It is your invitation to grow. Welcome it, work with it, and watch how it leads you to places you never imagined possible. Cultivate harmonious relationships. The most successful individuals throughout history have understood a profound truth. No great achievement is ever accomplished alone. Behind every monument of success stands a foundation built upon harmonious relationships. For the next 3 days, I urge you to deliberately and thoughtfully cultivate meaningful connections, not merely for personal gain, but for mutual growth and upliftment. You must come to see that people are not obstacles in your path, but bridges to greater possibility. The mind that isolates itself, believing it can achieve everything without others, limits its reach. But the one who sees others as collaborators, allies, and co-creators expands its influence beyond measure. Andrew Carnegie was among the wealthiest men in the world. He was quick to credit his success to the power of a mastermind group, a circle of trusted individuals whose combined wisdom, effort, and ideas propelled him forward. Or reflect on J. Morgan, who mastered the art of alliance, building an empire through strong partnerships and strategic relationships. These men understood that surrounding oneself with the right minds and hearts is not optional. It is essential. Harmonious relationships are not formed by chance. They are built intentionally day by day through the offering of value, trust, and sincere appreciation. Ask yourself, who in your life inspires you to grow? Who challenges you, supports you, and believes in your potential? And just as importantly, to whom do you offer the same? Over these next 3 days, make it your mission to strengthen the connections that matter. Reach out to someone you respect. Express gratitude. Offer encouragement. Share a resource or insight that may uplift another. When you give without expectation, you plant the seeds of lasting alliance. Do not overlook the simple power of listening. When you listen with genuine interest, you build trust. When you encourage others in their pursuits, you spark a bond rooted in mutual respect. Relationships thrive not through dominance, but through cooperation and shared vision. When you surround yourself with individuals who are aligned in purpose and character, you create a support system that sustains you in difficulty and accelerates your progress in times of opportunity. This is more than a network. It is a multiplier of success. Every great vision gains momentum when others believe in it, contribute to it, and help bring it to life. Remember, the quality of your relationships will often determine the quality of your results. Choose wisely, nurture intentionally, and always lead with integrity. Start today. Be the kind of person others want to build with. Offer more than you ask. Celebrate others' victories as your own, and watch how the harmony you create becomes a powerful force that elevates not only your life, but the lives of everyone around you. Your mindset is the master key that unlocks all doors. Spend these 3 days actively maintaining a positive, solution-oriented perspective. Understand that a positive mindset is not merely optimism, it is a powerful strategy for overcoming obstacles and recognizing opportunities hidden within challenges. Consider successful people throughout history like Helen Keller, who overcame unimaginable barriers by focusing on possibility rather than limitation. Each morning, affirm that today holds incredible potential. Keep your mind fixed upon your goals, your vision clear, and your heart open to abundance. Your attitude determines your altitude. Elevate it intentionally. Now is your moment. Commit to these steps. Start today. Speak to yourself with purpose, passion, and power. Your journey to personal greatness begins with the simple yet profound choice to believe in yourself. Imagine this. Your life is a grand masterpiece, and every single day you are handed a fresh brush and a new canvas. The question is, what will you paint? What kind of story will you tell with your actions, your mindset, and your habits? The truth is, success is not built in a day, but it is built daily. Now listen to me closely. There are 10 small habits that, if practiced consistently, will change your life forever. They will shape your character, fuel your ambitions, and transform your future. 1. Set a clear goal every day. A ship without a destination is at the mercy of the wind. It moves, but without direction, without purpose. It may travel vast distances, but it will never truly arrive. And so it is with a person who wakes up each morning without a clear goal. They may be busy. They may be in constant motion, but busyness is not progress. Activity is not achievement. Clarity is the foundation of all greatness. No empire, no revolution, no lasting legacy was ever built on confusion. The mind left unchecked is like an untrained beast, restless, chaotic, and easily swayed by whatever pulls hardest. Distractions, demands, expectations, they come from every direction, and without clarity, they control you. But the moment you set an intention, the moment you take command of your direction, the world no longer dictates your path. Before the noise of the day engulfs you, before external pressures scatter your focus, take a moment. Decide. Define one clear goal for the day. Not 10, not 5, just one. It doesn't have to be grand. It doesn't have to be life-changing, but it must be intentional. It could be something as simple as making an important decision, completing a long overdue task, or learning something new. The power of the goal is not in its size. It is in its clarity. When you give your mind a specific target, you give it purpose. You transform a passive existence into an active pursuit. You shift from drifting to directing, from reacting to responding. You begin to shape your day rather than allowing it to shape you. And this is the hidden key to extraordinary achievement. It is not found in rare bursts of inspiration. It is not found in wishful thinking. It is found in the stacking of deliberate days, one on top of the other. The person who defines their aim each morning is the person who carves their destiny. A vague wish never built an empire. A blurred vision never forged a legacy. Clarity did, and it always will. Start your day with a mindset of gratitude. You must understand this. Your mindset determines your destiny. It is not luck, not circumstance, not even talent that shapes the course of your life as much as the way you think. And at the core of an unshakable mind is one simple yet powerful practice: gratitude. Most people wake up burdened. They dread the challenges ahead. Their mind fixates on problems, on what's missing, on what could go wrong. But this way of thinking is a self-imposed prison. It keeps them trapped in fear, doubt, and negativity. What they don't realize is that they have the power to shift everything with one small habit, one that takes less than a minute, but rewires the mind for resilience. Each morning, before the chaos of the world pulls you in 1,000 directions, take a breath, pause, and list 3 things you are grateful for. They don't have to be grand. It could be as simple as the fact that you woke up today, the roof over your head, a conversation with a friend, an opportunity, no matter how small. Gratitude isn't about ignoring challenges. It's about choosing to see what's already good. This shift in perspective is not just wishful thinking. It is power. When you focus on what you have rather than what you lack, your mind moves from scarcity to abundance, from limitation to possibility. And a mind that sees possibility will always find a way. It will see opportunities where others see obstacles. It will create solutions instead of excuses. Understand this. Gratitude is not just a feeling, it is a discipline. It is a weapon against doubt, fear, and anxiety. Those who cultivate it are unshaken by hardship because they have trained their mind to look beyond setbacks, to see what can be done instead of dwelling on what cannot. The strongest minds are not those who have never struggled. They are the ones who have mastered the art of perspective, and gratitude is the foundation of that mastery. 3, read for 30 minutes daily. Every great mind has been forged in the crucible of knowledge, the wisdom of the past, the insights of the present, and the possibilities of the future. These are the building blocks of intellectual and personal growth. If you seek to elevate your thinking, to sharpen your mind into a force of clarity and power, you must become a student of wisdom. The world is filled with distractions, but few pursuits are as transformative as the simple act of reading. A single book can shift the trajectory of your entire life. One idea, one profound realization can dismantle old limitations and open doors you never knew existed. Knowledge is not merely power, it is freedom. It frees you from ignorance, from stagnation, from the cycle of unchallenged thoughts that keep you confined to the same patterns, the same frustrations. Every page you turn expands your perspective, helping you see beyond the narrow confines of your current understanding. The greatest leaders, thinkers, and innovators all have one thing in common, an insatiable hunger for learning. They recognize that the mind, like the body, must be nourished and exercised. Just as muscles grow stronger with consistent training, the mind becomes sharper with regular exposure to new ideas, new philosophies, and new ways of thinking. The key is discipline, a daily commitment to reading, even if only for 30 minutes. It is a small investment with immeasurable returns. Some may argue that books are outdated, but true wisdom is timeless. It is not about information, it is about depth. While fleeting news feeds and surface-level content bombard your mind with noise, books demand patience, engagement, and contemplation. They challenge you to think critically, to question, to reflect. In a world that thrives on quick fixes and instant gratification, reading is an act of rebellion, a statement that you value depth over distraction, mastery over mediocrity. You are always one book away from a breakthrough. One well-placed insight can shift your mindset, transform your habits, and set you on a path to greatness. But that breakthrough will never come if you do not take the first step, make the commitment. 30 minutes a day. Let that be the foundation upon which you build an unshakable mind. In time, you will look back and realize the greatest investment you ever made was in the strength of your own intellect. 4. Take control of your inner dialogue. You are the master of your fate, the captain of your soul, not by mere chance, nor by the whims of fortune, but by the supreme power of your thoughts. The mind is a fertile field, rich beyond measure, yet it produces only what is planted within it. Plant seeds of doubt and fear, and you will harvest failure and despair. But sow within it the golden seeds of belief, determination, and purpose, and your life shall bear fruit beyond your grandest imagination. Consider for a moment the man who tells himself, I am weak. His shoulders slump. His voice wavers. His very presence diminishes. He need not be restrained by iron shackles, for he has already bound himself in the invisible chains of self-doubt. On the other hand, the man who declares, I am strong, I am capable, I shall overcome, walks with purpose, speaks with conviction, and acts with an unshakable confidence that bends circumstances to his will. The difference between the two men is not one of birth or fortune, it is a difference of thought. Pay close attention to your inner dialogue, for within it lies the blueprint of your destiny. If you whisper to yourself, I cannot, you set forth a command to your mind, and your body will obey. If instead you say, I am learning how, you ignite within yourself the spirit of growth, the spark that transforms obstacles into stepping stones. Do not say, I am not good enough. Say instead, I am improving every day. This simple shift in language alters not only your state of mind, but also your entire reality. Words are not mere sounds, they are forces. They are the silent architects that shape the structure of your life. Every word you utter plants a seed in the garden of your subconscious. Speak of failure, and it shall bloom. Speak of greatness, and it shall bear fruit. The most successful men in history, those who have risen from obscurity to prominence, have mastered this secret. They have spoken into existence the lives they desired long before they held them in their grasp. Let no man say that fate is cruel, for fate is but the servant of thought. Speak wisely, think boldly, and act with unwavering faith, and the world shall shape itself to your will. 5, embrace discomfort every single day. Man is not meant for ease, but for conquest. History has not been written by those who sought refuge in comfort, nor has success ever been won by the man who feared struggle. Comfort is a silent thief. It steals ambition, dulls the spirit, and lulls the mind into complacency. Every time you avoid discomfort, you do not merely stand still, you move backward. Growth is the child of adversity, and those who would claim greatness must first learn to embrace the trials that forge it. The most successful men of our time, those who have risen from obscurity to command industry, wealth, and influence, share a common trait. They do not flee from difficulty. Rather, they seek it. They lean into discomfort as a blacksmith leans into the fire, knowing that only through the heat of resistance can steel be tempered. They understand that progress is not found in idle repose, but at the very edge of their endurance. If you would carve your place among such men, you must train yourself to endure what others shrink from. Do something uncomfortable every day. Rise before the sun and claim dominion over the morning. Push yourself beyond fatigue, beyond convenience, beyond what you once believed possible. Speak when your voice trembles. Take action when fear tells you to wait. Risk failure when mediocrity offers safety. Each act of discomfort expands your limits, hardens your will, and strengthens your spirit. Understand this. The more you embrace discomfort, the more formidable you become. Each struggle conquered is a stone laid in the foundation of your success. Every hardship faced with courage tightens the sinews of your character. You are not meant for a life of ease, but for a life of triumph. The world bows not to the man who seeks comfort, but to the man who endures, persists, and conquers. So I say to you, reject ease, reject the temptation of stagnation. Welcome challenge as an old friend, for in its embrace lies your true potential. The man who dares to suffer today shall be the master of tomorrow. 6, master the art of focus. Success is not reserved for the fortunate, nor is failure the lot of the unfortunate. Both are the offspring of habit, the result of discipline, or the lack of it. And in this modern age, there is no greater enemy to discipline than distraction. It is the silent killer of dreams, the thief that robs men of their purpose while they remain unaware. It does not strike with force, nor does it announce its arrival. Instead, it seeps into the mind, scattering attention, dulling ambition, and replacing progress with idle indulgence. We live in a world that clamors for your attention. Endless noise, ceaseless demands, trivial diversions designed to pull your focus in 100 directions at once. But let me tell you this, what you focus on, you feed. If you allow your mind to be drawn into distractions, you will water the seeds of mediocrity. But if you learn to direct your focus with precision, you will cultivate the harvest of greatness. A man who fixates on problems will find himself consumed by them, drowning in doubt and despair. But the man who trains his mind to see solutions will discover that every difficulty holds an opportunity. The choice is his, and it is yours. Master your focus, and you will master your destiny. Train your mind to single task. Ignore the siren song of constant interruptions. Turn off notifications, silence the trivial, and set aside specific hours for deep, undisturbed work. Make concentration a sacred ritual, one that cannot be violated by the fleeting whims of the external world. Understand this, the man who controls his focus controls his future. Distraction is the refuge of the unfocused, the excuse of the uncommitted. But the man who commands his attention as a warrior commands his sword, sharp, unwavering, and precise, will carve his name upon the pillars of history. So I say to you, guard your focus as you would guard your fortune, for in truth it is worth far more. Let no idle pleasure, no trivial matter steal from you the destiny that is yours to claim. Train your mind, direct your thoughts, and the world shall bow to the power of your unwavering attention. 7, don't cultivate relentless self-discipline. The road to success is not paved with good intentions, nor is it built upon fleeting bursts of inspiration. It is constructed with the bricks of discipline, unyielding, unbreakable, and essential. Discipline is the bridge between goals and achievement. It is the force that separates those who dream from those who do. The man who masters discipline masters his fate. The man who lacks it becomes a slave to circumstance. Let me tell you a truth that few dare to accept. Feelings are unreliable. If you wait until you feel ready, you will wait forever. If you act only when it is convenient, you will accomplish nothing. Discipline is the ability to do what must be done, whether or not you feel like it. It is rising before the sun when comfort tempts you to sleep. It is working when others rest, persisting when others quit, pushing forward when the weak make excuses. Discipline is a muscle, and like any muscle, it grows stronger with use. Every time you choose action over procrastination, every time you show up instead of surrendering to weakness, you fortify your will. Every time you keep your word to yourself, you build trust in your own abilities. An unshakable confidence that cannot be given, only earned. And trust me, self-discipline is the ultimate key to freedom. The undisciplined man is bound by his impulses, controlled by distractions, shackled by the whims of the moment. But the disciplined man, he is master of himself. He does not seek motivation, for he does not require it. He acts regardless. And in doing so, he gains control over his destiny. Understand this. Talent may open doors, but only discipline will keep them open. Ambition may light the fire, but only discipline will keep it burning. No man ever achieved greatness without first learning to master himself. So I say to you, train yourself as a warrior trains for battle. Strengthen your will, harden your resolve. Choose discipline today, tomorrow, and every day after. For when discipline becomes your way of life, success becomes inevitable. 8, surround yourself with high-value people. A man is not merely the product of his own thoughts and actions, he is the reflection of those with whom he surrounds himself. Show me the company you keep, and I will show you the trajectory of your life. For whether you recognize it or not, you are the average of the 5 people with whom you spend the most time. Their habits become your habits. Their beliefs shape your beliefs. Their standards define your own. If you surround yourself with men who complain, you will soon find yourself steeped in excuses, drowning in the same mediocrity that holds them captive. If you walk among those who accept failure as their fate, who see obstacles as insurmountable, you will unconsciously adopt the same limitations. But if you seek the company of those who push boundaries, who defy odds, who refuse to accept anything less than success, then you too will rise to that standard. You will push harder, think bigger, and act with greater conviction. Choose wisely. The people around you either propel you forward or pull you back. There is no neutrality in influence. Surround yourself with those who sharpen your mind, who challenge your thinking, who refuse to let you settle for less than your full potential. Seek out mentors, men of wisdom, men who have walked the path you aspire to travel. Engage in conversations that stretch your intellect, that force you to expand your vision beyond the limits of your current understanding. For understand this, the right environment will change you faster than any motivation ever will. A man need not rely on fleeting inspiration when he is immersed in a culture of excellence. In the presence of greatness, mediocrity becomes intolerable. In the company of the ambitious, stagnation is impossible. So, I say to you, choose your circle with care. Walk among giants and you will learn to stand tall. Align yourself with thinkers, doers, men of action, and you will become one yourself. If you wish to elevate your life, elevate your standards, for in the end, your future is not determined by chance. It is forged by the hands of those you allow into your world. 9, take daily action towards your dreams. A dream without action is nothing more than a fantasy, a wish whispered into the wind, lost before it ever takes form. Success does not come to the man who waits, nor does it favor the one who merely hopes. It bows only to the man who moves, who works, who refuses to let a single day pass without progress. Dreams do not work unless you do. You cannot sit idly by and expect success to come knocking. It will not. Fortune does not seek the passive. It rewards the relentless. Every man who has risen from obscurity to greatness has done so by the sweat of his own effort. He did not wait for the perfect time. He did not wait for circumstances to align in his favor. He began where he was, with what he had, and he took action. And so must you. Each day is an opportunity, a chance to step forward, no matter how small the step. Forward, no matter how small the step. Momentum is not built in a single act of greatness, but in the quiet consistency of daily effort. A man who moves forward, even by an inch, is miles ahead of the one who stands still. Start now. Do something today that brings you closer to your goal. Do not be deceived by the illusion that great achievements happen overnight. They are the result of small, disciplined actions compounded over time. The writer who pens a single page each day will one day hold a book in his hands. The man who improves by just 1% daily will find himself transformed beyond recognition in a year's time. This is the law of effort. It is inescapable, undeniable, and infallible. Those who obey it rise. Those who defy it fade into mediocrity. So I say to you, take action. Not tomorrow, not next week. Today, now. For the man who moves today is the man who rules tomorrow. And the man who waits, he will spend his life watching others achieve what he once only dreamed. Tend each day with reflection and refinement. The difference between the man who grows and the man who remains stagnant is not found in talent, luck, or even effort alone. It is found in reflection. The world moves quickly, filled with men who rush from one day to the next without ever pausing to ask themselves, "What have I learned?" But the man who takes a moment each night to look inward, to measure his progress, to assess his actions, to seek improvement, places himself leagues ahead of those who simply drift. Before you close your eyes at night, take a moment to reflect. Ask yourself, what did I do well today? Where did I falter? How can I be better tomorrow? For success is not a matter of perfection. It is a matter of learning, adapting, and growing stronger with each passing day. The man who fears mistakes will never take action, but the man who learns from them will turn failures into stepping stones and obstacles into opportunities. Each day is a lesson. Some will teach you patience. Some will test your discipline. Others will reveal weaknesses you had not yet seen. But all of them, if examined with honesty, will leave you wiser than before. The greatest men in history, those who shaped industries, led nations, and built legacies, were not without flaws. But they understood this truth. Self-awareness is the foundation of mastery. They did not blindly repeat the same errors. They studied themselves as a craftsman studies his work, making corrections, refining techniques, and improving constantly. And so must you. Take time each evening to assess the day behind you. Write it down if you must. Celebrate what you did well. Acknowledge where you fell short, not with regret, but with determination. For the man who seeks improvement daily will rise far above the one who moves through life without awareness. So I say to you, do not let a single day pass without learning from it. The man who reflects, adapts, and grows is the man who will master his future. Those who fail to look inward will forever be controlled by forces they do not understand. But those who study themselves will hold the key to their own evolution. And in the end, that is the difference between those who succeed and those who merely exist. Now listen carefully. These 10 habits are small, but their impact is immeasurable. They are the foundation of a strong mind, a disciplined character, and a powerful life. The question is, will you implement them? Will you commit to the small daily actions that lead to greatness? The choice is yours, and if you choose wisely, your future self will thank you. So, what habit will you start today? Because the life you want is not waiting for you, it is waiting for you to take action. And action, my friend, is always within your control.